Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Remember, I go by One Cheap Compadre and you're watching One Cheap Compadre TV. So for today, before I get started, let me just let you know what I talk about on my channel. On my channel, we're going to be discussing investing, saving, politics, and also, if we have time, story time. Now, today I want to talk about preparing yourself for what's to come in the next couple of weeks and months. Now remember, we received this HERO Act to help us through the crisis of this pandemic. Now, for those who are on unemployment, remember that the unemployment will be ending at the end of July. Also, remember, at this point in time, we're not sure if we're going to receive another stimulus check. I know you've been seeing a lot of people on YouTube talking about the next stimulus check. You also heard the president also mentioned that there will probably be another stimulus. But until that actually happens, you have to prepare yourself, people. Now, last time I did a video on being cheap and when there's a good reason to be cheap and when there's not so good of a reason to be cheap. Now, remember, last couple of my videos, I talked about saving. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about saving and putting it in the bank where you're going to get 0.1%, 0.2% on your money. So really, pretty much, you're not really making any money off of your money being in the bank. Now remember, the money that's in the bank is your emergency fund. So in actuality, it really doesn't matter if you actually make money off of it. It's supposed to be there in case of the emergency. Okay? This is one of those reasons when it is good to be cheap, because the more you save, the more you'll be prepared for certain emergencies. Let me say that again. That will help you be more prepared in case of an emergency that we've been going through for the last 3 to 4 months, right? Now, the reason why it's supposed to sit in the bank is because for you to get access to it quickly. All right? Now, with this money, you don't want to take that money and start investing in the stock market. Remember, when you invest in the stock market, it's money that you will not need for years to come. All right? So I'm meaning 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Okay? So that money you don't touch. You don't pull out any money from your broker's account. Also, your broker's account is supposed to be used as a way to build wealth by taking risks. Also, when you look at that money, you need to look at that investment as a loss, even though you are making money from it, because this money is to be looked at as if you were to lose it, that you would not feel that you are obligated to paying someone else, or you're obligated to think to yourself that, okay, due to my investing, that I made a mistake, that I feel that I should never invest in the stock market. The first thing you need to know when you invest in the stock market is that when you invest, you're not guaranteed to make money. You could even lose your money, even all of it. That's why it's called a risk. Now, what you need to do when you invest is when you take risk, you try to limit the amount of risk. That's why when you invest, you should only invest in mutual funds, ETFs, and index funds. Avoid individual stocks and avoid day trading options, okay? That subject is very tricky. And if you're not watching the market day in and day out, even if you watch it day in and day out, you may not make a return. You may lose it in amount of days. So that is the reason why I choose ETF mutual funds, index funds, and I invest in dividends, because at the end of the day, these dividends are paying a passive income to me every month. All right, it's like another paycheck that I receive. All right, so that is why I invest in it, because prime example, just like days like this that we're going through this crisis, that is money that you can use to help out with groceries, help out with rent, help out with certain things, certain emergencies that come about. For example, last couple of days, my son ended up getting hurt and I had to take him to the doctor. Luckily, I have insurance, but not everyone is lucky like that. Remember, we have 40 million people who are unemployed right now. And by the end of this month, we may have even more. Even though we had a little uptick in employment at the end of June, but we don't know how July is going to look. So, that being said, you have to make sure that you are prepared for life's tragedies, life's crisis that just happen with you not even being aware of that particular situation. It could just happen like that overnight. You don't know. But basically, the whole purpose of saving for a rainy day is prepare yourself for those life crises. So if you have to pay out of pocket because of insurance, because as soon as you lose your job, I realize that they do give you COBRA, but if you can't afford COBRA, then you're going to lose those benefits. So if you're not working, if you don't have anything saved, then you cannot help with those life's tragedies that happen, where you may be forced to maybe use credit, where if you have money saved, then that is the first offense to any tragedy. Is cash first, then credit. If you have to use credit in case of emergency, credit should not be first. You want to prepare yourself for life situations by saving. And if you have to be cheap in order to save money to prepare yourself for certain tragedies, then that's something you have to do. Okay? Yes, true. Being cheap has some cases of being someone who may have some type of disorder. But when it comes to certain situations where you have the coronavirus and you have people getting sick and people actually dying and people losing their jobs and other situations, you have to be prepared for those situations by saving money. Now, if that means you have to save your pennies, your nickels, your dimes, your quarters, your dollars, your $5, your $10, $20, $50, $100, you name it. Do what you need to do. If it's something you don't need, then those wants, save that money and save for a rainy day like we're going through right now. Because who to say in the next couple of months, those individuals who may be facing eviction, that they will have someone to actually help them, to allow them to stay in their homes, in their apartments, right? So if you have some rainy day, at least that'll get you through for maybe 6 months, a year, 2 years. But if you're not saving, you're not being consistent, you're not being conscious of what's going on, then you may be doomed and you may be facing eviction. So if you like my comments, if you like this topic, put a comment at the bottom. Tell me your perspective on saving money or not saving money and looking for someone to help you. Become a subscriber and hit that bell. Until next time, have a great day.